Hello, Star Wars fans. In this episode, we're going back a little bit. Well, because I wanted to actually know more about this character, I decided let's read I, Jedi. You know, I, Jedi, if you're not familiar with that part of the expanded universe, is the book to read after you read the Jedi Academy trilogy by Kevin J. Anderson. This book gives you a different point of view of those events through the events of Corran Horn. The first half of this book, basically, I'm going to try to give out as little spoilers as possible, basically is a retelling of the Jedi Academy trilogy through the eyes of Corran Horn. Which, it's a good thing in my opinion because it does give you some insight on what happened, behind the scenes. And that certain student that was there in that book, which you didn't really know who he was. Not only does this enrich the Jedi Academy trilogy, this also develops Corran Horn as a character. I, Jedi, is pretty unique amongst EU novels because not that many of them are told through a first person's point of view. And as of this recording, I literally just finished this book about an hour ago. So I figured I might as well review it. The author of this book is Michael A. Stockpole, and I think he does a pretty good job of driving you into this, Star Wars world. Corran Horn, basically, I'm just gonna give a brief summary of the story. Is his wife, Mirdrix, gets kidnapped, and he's trying to find a way to save her, but he can't find her. So Luke Skywalker pretty much offers him to help him by training him to be to control the Force. So the first half of the book, it has him learning the ways of the Force, and the first half of this book, it tells the events of the Jedi Academy through his perspective, and also gives you a little more insight on Exar Kun. Of course, at the point this book was published, Exar Kun wasn't really fleshed out that much as a villain. The Tales of the Jedi comics fleshed him out a lot more. And the one thing I really liked about this book is Corran Horn. Of course, in the New Jedi Order, he's pretty much a full-time Jedi. Corran Horn's basically your average guy. He's not, when it comes to being a Jedi, he's not very good at telekinesis. Lifting objects, with his mind. He's better at other things. He has the ability to project illusions into mind, given the illusions of stuff that aren't there or whatnot. And to see him struggle throughout this book, develop as a character. Even if I have not known anything about him, I know there's other books, the X-Wing series, which has Corran Horn in there. This does a great job to someone who has never read any of those books to develop this character, actually feel for him, to actually care about him succeeding. Corran Horn, I think, is a great character. It's such a shame that, well, I'm not going to get into that, but it's a shame that he may not be part of the Star Wars, the new canon, and I think it's a damn shame. He's a pretty damn good character. And this is probably the first Star Wars novel that I've read in New Republic era, post Return of the Jedi, that didn't have the originals in it. They were, like Luke did play a minor role into this, but they weren't the main characters. They were side characters. I know there's some criticisms for this book to some people that feel like it does ruin Luke's character later on in the EU, which I don't agree with that. I mean, you gotta take into consideration, at this point when Luke opened his Jedi Academy, he was still learning himself. And the entire Jedi Order, that the old order that Obi-Wan and Yoda, with the ways that he learned, some of the stuff he learned, most of the old Jedi Order's history was destroyed with the rise of the Galactic Empire. So Luke pretty much had to start from scratch. And it does show more humanity in Luke Skywalker, in my opinion. Sure, and as for Kip, you don't really get to see much of him in this book, but then again, the Jedi Academy trilogy is more of his story than this is more Corran Horn's story. And I kind of wish they would do more Star Wars novels this way. Not all of them. Well, like, I may do a video one day about Star Wars novels I wish would be made, whether it's in the new canon or old canon. And he also, Corran Horn learns about his family's heritage and vice versa. I know some of this does get contradicted, this stuff about the Jedi in the prequels, but you gotta take it into iteration. It isn't the EU's fault for why these contradictions existed. It's George Lucas. As for Jedi, how would I recommend this? Fuck yes. Only if you've read the Jedi Academy trilogy, though, because you'll be lost. If you read the Jedi Academy trilogy first, then read this, you'll get a bigger insight on the events that happened. Jedi is probably one of my favorite expanded universe books because it introduced me through Corran Horn, at least to me, and I loved him as a character. I actually want to read his earlier adventures before he becomes a Jedi, the X-Wing series. So this book, if anything, made me more interested in Corran Horn. And I'm glad I read this book before I moved on with New Jedi Order, because now I know more about him and I would actually care about what happens to him in the later expanded universe. Now, next time and next episode, we're going to do something different. I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to review the Dark Tide duology in the New Jedi Order. I've already read Onslaught, and the second book of the duology is Ruin. I'm going to review them both at the same time because I feel like when I do a duology, I'm going to review all of them. That same thing's with a trilogy. And see how that goes. Anyway, Expanded Universe fans, Star Wars fans, thank you for watching this video. May the Force be with you. I know I'm promoting him in every video, but if you want to watch Expanded Universe videos that get more in depth with it, that help you understand it better, watch Matt Wilkins' video. Just click in the description below. I can't recommend him enough. And along with many other great YouTubers out there that are fans of the Expanded Universe. Long live the EU. May the Force be with you. And have a good day, everyone. Peace.